Will VRay kill my computer if I use it for rendering? A bit of a dramatised title, I know, but you'd be surprised at how many times this type of question comes up in conversation, usually with artists who have either never used VRay as their render engine of choice, or who are perhaps themselves brand new to CG lighting and rendering as a discipline. The funny thing is, though, it's actually quite easy these days to get at least an idea of how our computer will perform when using VRay simply by making use of the benchmark tool that Chaosgroup, they being the makers of VRay, in case you were unaware, now provides. Now, some of you may be thinking, but I don't have a copy of VRay to test with, which actually isn't a problem because a license isn't required in order for us to make use of the benchmark application. In fact, let's go ahead and take a walkthrough here of using benchmark so that we can just see how it all works. Our first port of call then is to head over to the chaosgroup.com website so that we can download the application itself. Now, we will need to have an account and be signed in so as to access the downloads page, but as we can easily set up an account for free, that shouldn't be a big deal. After using the sign in menu then and logging in, we can access the download section, and then after hitting the See All Products link, click to select the VRay benchmark option, which should take us to a downloads page that looks something like this. After selecting the version that we want, and then saving it to our hard drive, I have just created a benchmark folder here, we can run the benchmark application by simply clicking on the executable, so no need to run an install or anything like that. After a little while, we should see a mini VRay application load up that essentially uses two preloaded scenes in order to put our CPU and GPU hardware components through their paces for 1 minute each, this fixed time limit being what allows the hardware scores to then be ranked according to their speed capabilities. Now, when testing out our GPU, we do need to take note of the fact that we can either run the test on just the GPU itself, or we can run it in hybrid mode, so using both the CPU and GPU together, which is in fact the default setup for GPU-based rendering in most, if not all, VRay Next versions. The two scenes used in the test are firstly the one that we have been looking at here, which is an outdoor environment that obviously has lots of grass and trees sitting inside it. And then secondly, we have a golden hour interior that is using some quite low lighting or exposure levels. This, of course, presenting quite a noise cleanup challenge to the render engine. Once we hit the start button and the tests are done, we can submit our results to the Chaosgroup database via our Chaosgroup account and basically see where we are sitting on the hardware capability list. And as easily as that, we can get ourselves at least a partial answer to the question that we started with, which was, will VRay kill my computer if I use it for rendering? If you are brand new to the VRay engine or would just like a refresher on how some of the features in the engine are working these days, do be sure to check out my VRay-based training courses that can be found in the LinkedIn Learning online training library. This is Brian Bradley saying have a good one and bye for now.